Hey, how you doing? It's Clayton Teeney from the First Home Buyer Club. 100 lessons in 100 days, day 61, lesson 61. Today, what I want to talk about is the negative Nancy's, the Debbie Downers or the Eddie the experts, and why you shouldn't listen to them. First thing that I always say to any friend that asks me any sort of advice in regards to something they've heard from someone else is, have they actually done it themselves? Because you know what? Here's the problem. You're going to get advice off people in regards to, buying Bitcoin that have never invested in their life, or what you should do in property when they're still rented their same home for the last 30 years. Make sure you're taking the advice off the right people, because the problem is that, they believe in what they're saying and it may not even be correct. And as a result, that may or may not influence you to make a decision that you really haven't explored. So, it's funny, there's a few good stories that I've been hearing lately and one that really sticks out, and obviously I only heard it this week, but I've never heard it before, is that buying property ruins the economy, and you can track it back to World War II and you can see the signs. Now, I don't know about him or this person or how they came up with that decision, but you got to think about this. Like, how else are you going to create wealth through life in order to give you a better life in retirement? And there are multiple ways, right? So don't get me wrong. You can invest in shares, you can invest in businesses, you can invest in property, whatever it is you do. You're going to have to do multiple things, right? You can't just go to a job and hope that you're going to set yourself up without creating the right plan. And so that was probably the one of the week that I've heard that took me back, because I didn't have an answer for it straight up, because I've never heard of it. The common ones we always hear is, well, at least when you rent a home that you can move whenever you want. Now, most people live in the homes as long as they can, right? So if you're renting or paying off someone else's mortgage 5, 6, 7 years, why wouldn't have you put that into your own? You know what I mean? Like, if you're spending $20,000+ year after year to your landlord, why wouldn't you be putting into your own mortgage, making extra payments, paying it down faster, and being mortgage free in half of the time? You know what I mean? Because when you buy a house, it's not a 30-year investment. Not if you do it right. There's a lot of simple strategies to help you pay off the home faster. Offset accounts, extra repayments, changing your payment frequency from monthly to weekly, all ways to save up big, right? And here's the thing, as I said, we're creatures of habits. You'll also, once you get used to the new routine of paying an extra $50 or $100 a week on your mortgage, you're not going to notice it, because it's just life. And then all of a sudden, the house is just going to be getting paid down quicker and quicker without even realizing. And here's the thing you need to be looking at with your own home. Look at it as if it was an investment. And what I mean by that is that, we buy our own home, and I was the same. Bought my own home to start off with, to go, yep, I've reached that goal that I always expected and wanted to have as a kid, and that's it. But if you look at your home, and especially I'll get a little bit nerdy in the numbers for a minute, but at 4% interest rate, I know the rates are below 4%, but at 4%, over 30 years, you'll pay back roughly 1.72 times more interest and principal, right? So you borrow a $400,000 mortgage. By the time you pay it off over 30 years, you're going to pay back $688,000. So it's a 72% return on its money for the bank. Now think about this. All the extra money you put into that account or into that mortgage will then make sure that you save that return. So if you thought about every time you put $100 extra into your mortgage, if that was getting you a 72% return on your money, would you find it a little bit easier to put that $100 into the mortgage each week, or into the offset account so you can use it later on? Like, think of your own mortgage and paying it off as an investment. Because here's the thing, you don't physically get that cash, but it's the same as capital growth. You buy a house at $400,000 today and it goes up to $600,000 in the next 10 years. The bank manager does not knock on your door and go, hey, mate, congratulations, your property's gone up $200,000. You might also go on that holiday you've always been talking about. You got the capital growth. So when you refinance that or sell that house, that's when you get the chunk of money. So at the end of the day, you think about it, we're trying to create equity through just property prices going up. But you really need to consider as the fact is, how much quicker can I pay down that mortgage to still create the equity that you're after? And if you look at it the next step and go, well, if I can turn a 30-year mortgage into 15 years, how much money am I going to save? And if you're renting at $400 a week, that simple strategy there of turning a 30-year mortgage into 15, just in repayments that you would have had to give out to the bank, there's like $300,000+, which then you've got the choice. What am I going to do with this money? Am I going to invest it? Am I going to take some time off and not work as hard? Am I going to go on holidays and enjoy myself? What are you going to do? There's simple strategies that you can do to incorporate to then live a better life for yourself. And that's all it is. We're only working hard to create wealth, to make more decisions in our life. The more money you have, the more decisions you get to make it simple, right? All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoy your Saturday. Let me just backtrack one quick bit. I put in 2 points there, right? And I'll talk about it. A lot of clients have heard me talk about it before. I lost $28,000 on a gold warrant back in the day. And what I learned early was that every time I invest money in something I don't understand, I seem to lose money. It was a common thread every time. So what I would suggest that you do, because if it's buying a house, buying a business, looking into buying shares, deciding if you want to own your own home or continue to rent, is make those decisions for yourself. Start off with, what sort of home would I want? How much would it cost? What would the mortgage repayments would be? And then you compare it. So if it's costing $550 a week principal and interest over here, how does that compare to you right now? Are you saving $400 a week? You renting at $400 a week? Are you saving at $200 a week? Because then your rent and savings per week is $600 and the mortgage is $550. So you're like, okay, I'm pretty good right now. Things we haven't taken into consideration, I don't want to scare you out of it, is rates, water, insurance. We always tell everyone to allow at least $70 to $80 a week to cover all those costs. But depending on where you live and what you've purchased and how expensive it is in the suburb you're on, that price may fluctuate or decrease. But make those decisions for yourself and check it out if it's the right opportunity. Because here's the thing. There's up to like $71,000 in incentives and grants on offer for first home buyers. You got the $25,000 home builder boost. You got the $15,000 first home buyer grant. You pay no stamp duty up to $250,000, which they'll save you around six or $7,000. And then you can avoid mortgage insurance with the new home guarantee. Now, here's the thing. They've just increased the new home guarantee, which is the old loan deposit scheme, up to $650,000 now. So if you buy a house at $650,000 or less, you only have to contribute 5% as a deposit, and you can avoid mortgage insurance. That is a massive foot in the door. So just crunch the numbers and make sure that it is or isn't the right time, because the last thing you want to be doing is being that person at the barbecue that always brags about the opportunities he missed, the things he should have done but didn't, and what he would have done if he had his time over. All right, guys, hope you have a really good Saturday. Enjoy your day. Sun's out. Have fun. Bye.